Namaskar, Cyril Saab. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah. Are we good to start?
Yeah, Sangeeta, you can take the cue from NLU Meghalaya. If they give us the gear, then we can proceed.
Good afternoon, sir. Wait a few more minutes so that.
You can take the cue from NLU Meghalaya.
Yeah.
If the gear, then we can proceed.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. Wait 4 minutes so that.
You can take the cue from
Yeah. Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
I think we can commence, Sangeeta. If the NLU students are joined, please ask them once and then we can commence.
Yes, sir.
I think we can commence.
Yes, sir.
The NLU students are joined. Ask them once and then we can commence.
Fine. From NLU. Yes, sir.
We are ready.
Good afternoon from NLU. Anyone is here?
Yes, ma'am,
Please
we are ready.
respond.
Are you able to hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
You are audible. Shall we wait for a few more while so that a student will come and join, or we can start?
I'm just 2 minutes and then we can begin. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we are ready. You may commence. Thank you.
Yeah. You are ready?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
can. Okay, fine. Good afternoon and namaskar to all the distinguished dignitaries, respected speakers, esteemed participants, faculty members, students, industry representatives, and the guests. I am Sangeeta Burwa, your virtual host today. I am the academic lead and principal researcher from IICS Shillong. On behalf of the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Shillong, I extend a very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Dean, HODs, and other faculty members of National Law University of Meghalaya, as well as other academic and educational institutions from across the Shillong and Meghalaya, and officials from different government departments of Meghalaya, members from ICAI, The lead co-host, ICSI and ICMAI, the support co-host, representatives from industries, stakeholders, students, entrepreneurs, professionals, and participants who are joining us today virtually. It is a pleasure to welcome you all to today's webinar on Corporate Mitra Scheme for the state of Shillong, Meghalaya in the Northeastern Region Outreach Program. An outreach, it is an awareness initiative aimed at introducing the Corporate Mitra Scheme in National Law University, Meghalaya. We sincerely thank each one of you for taking the time to join with us. Without taking much of your time, I would now like to invite respected Sri Debarun Kalitaji, OSD, IICS Shillong, to deliver the welcome address and set the context for today's program. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sangeeta. Uh, Distinguished guests, respected Vice Chancellor, NLU Meghalaya, Secretary and Commissioner, Planning, Commerce and Industries, Law, Home Political, say Cyril Dengdosa, heads of premier institutes, colleges from across Meghalaya, senior officials from the Government of Meghalaya, senior officials from our Ministry of Corporate Affairs, members of faculty, NLU, council members from the professional institutes, ICMAI, ICSI, ICAI, the members of the coordination committee, Corporate Mitra, my colleagues from the IC Shillong, students of NLU Meghalaya and other institutions from Meghalaya, entrepreneurs, startups, particularly from Prime Meghalaya, and the entire online audience from across Meghalaya who are joined. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to you all. Namaskar. It is indeed my distinguished privilege to be delivering the welcome address today for this webinar and set the context for the program. As you all may be aware, the Corporate Mitra scheme was announced in the recent Union Budget 2026-27 by the Honorable Finance Minister of India uh, as an initiative of the Government of India with the aim to empower MSMEs, primarily those who are set in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities across India, and by way of supporting them in playing their part in the larger vision of a Viksit Bharat. So, scheme basically aims and has a vision and objective to empower these MSMEs towards their uh, mm, towards the march for financial sustainability and the entire sector to be thriving by way of creating a facilitative cadre who are local to these tier 2, tier 3 cities, whom will be accredited once the training course is rolled out and will be qualified and trusted, being local to the cities and speaking and conversing in the language of the MSMEs, and will be called as corporate mitras, that is bandhus, friends of the businesses, entrepreneurs, the enterprises, MSMEs. So by this way, and in setting the context also, gives me immense pleasure. I must also add that the scheme's development and conceptualization context was indeed the Northeast region itself. When we had IIC Shillong had under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs had started up developing the concept, and to be exact, it was Meghalaya whom we had in mind while developing the context. Having been drawn up, realizing the states and the region's unique challenges of enterprise forming up, but scaling up to an level wherein post which it becomes saturated. And also, one of the factors being identified for that upscale saturation being compliance burden, both cost wise and time wise. And finally, the inadequacy of local compliance and statutory service professionals being available within the NER and Meghalaya. So these kind of factors led us to think, ponder, and eventually come up with the guidance of our Director General and, of course, the senior officers from Meghalaya and our Secretary with this unique concept of the corporate mitra, friends who would take care of aspects which are non-core to the functioning and operation of a business, so that the businesses can focus on something for which they have established employees, that is profitability. They should be focus their energy time on upscaling the enterprise, on expanding their business, marketing, and leaving all these compliance and statutory requirements to these local cadre of agents. And therein how the concept came in. So the scheme is a two-pronged approach in terms of objectives. It focuses and targets two distinct segments, primarily the enterprises on one side and the youth and students on the other side. Eventually, so that the vision of both these core pillars of the Indian growth engine, the youth and students and the enterprises, come together in realizing the vision of a Viksit Bharat by 2047. And how the scheme envisages to do that is that they will facilitate the MSMEs in having this local pool of trusted, qualified, accredited compliance facilitators called the corporate mitras, who would be none other than the youth and students from that city or that region, and thereby aiding Philippine the MSMEs to move up, scale up, move much onward, and also catalyze the economic development of that particular city, the region, the state, by creating employment avenues or income augmenting and in supplementing opportunities for the students, either as a earn while they learn model. So this way, it supports both the two core pillars of the economy. One is the MSMEs, the enterprises, and the students, by both giving them both a facilitation. For one, it is the employment and income augmentation; other, it is business upscale and augmentation, and eventually both coming together in the march towards Viksit Bharat. So, corporate mitras, the detailed concept will be dwelled upon what exactly is in the coming subsequent session by the senior council member from ICI and my friend Mr. Misraji, who is joined. So I'll not dwell on that. Now, I must, in this, to set the overall context in this address, also quote our Honorable Prime Minister, who has envisioned the Northeast as a new engine of India's growth and termed the region as the Astra Lakshmi. And central government, in alignment of that vision, has attached priority focus of the for the region in further accelerating the Northeast region's socio-economic development through its policies, actions, and initiatives. And in driving that vision, the successful implementation of the corporate Mitra scheme for the entire Northeast region and its uptake by youth, eligible youths, particularly from Meghalaya, is important and is at the crux. And towards that, the government of India, in alignment of that specific focus attached to region, has reserved and earmarked 200 seats within the first pilot phase exclusively for the Northeast region, also with a 50% concession being available for the NER candidates. And Meghalaya, being the webinar being particularly for Meghalaya, and Meghalaya being the abode of clouds, we at the ministry, the three professional institutes, the government of India, we fervently expect the state to take the corporate Mitra scheme to the soaring heights of the clouds that adorn its pristine hills in terms of its uptake and eventual success and rollout. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to all of you, particularly the students, and look forward to a successful webinar. Thank you. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir, for your warm welcome and for setting the perfect context for today's program. Your insight into the context and the concept of the corporate Mitra scheme was encouraging and remarkable to hear. Now we move to the special address segment. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Basil Naunvarkima Darlong Diangdo. He is the Assistant Professor, Literary Studies and Legal Departments, National Law University, Meghalaya. I'd like to request you, sir, please share your special address with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon to all distinguished guests, esteemed faculty members and colleagues, and the vibrant youth of Meghalaya and beyond who have joined us today for this webinar under the Northeastern Region Awareness Campaign for the Corporate Mitra Scheme. Before I begin the formal proceedings, I must share a note of regret that our respected Registrar Sir of the university, Professor Dr. Baharul Islam, is unfortunately indisposed today and unable to be with us in person. He has requested that I convey his warmest greetings and his deep personal belief in the success of this initiative, which aims to empower the young professionals of our state to become leaders in the corporate world. We are honored to have the presence of Shri CVD Dengdo, IAS and Commissioner and Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya. We also extend our gratitude to our lead co-host, the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, along with our support partners from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. This campaign is, of course, being spearheaded by the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Shillong, and the National Law University of Meghalaya takes great pride in partnering with the first regional campus of the IICA under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. It is strategically located in the knowledge city of New Shillong and is supported by the Prime Minister's Development Initiative for Northeastern Region scheme. And the campus aims to serve as a vital hub to boost corporate governance and entrepreneurship throughout the Northeast. To the young minds joining us today, you are part of a historic surge where India now hosts over 2 lakh startups recognized by the DPIIT, with approximately 65% of these driven by young adults under the age of 35. Within our own region, we see this momentum clearly with over 2,000 recognized startups in the Northeast, and nearly 900 businesses are led by women entrepreneurs. Our youth are making incredible strides in sectors like agri-tech, ecotourism, and food processing. And they are supported by institutions like NEDFI and incubation centers at IIM Shillong, NEHU, and other institutions who are encouraging a beyond the classroom approach to education, keeping in mind the needs of employment and quality service delivery in the future. To ensure that these ventures thrive, as respected Sir mentioned previously, the Corporate Mitra scheme was announced in the Union Budget 2026-27 to create a pool of trained paraprofessionals who can assist micro, small, and medium enterprises with essential regulatory compliance, accounting, GST, and financial guidance, just to name a few. Under this scheme, a 12-month program is envisioned, which will consist of 6 months of academic online learning, followed by 6 months of practical on-the-job training within professional firms to ensure that you are fully industry ready by the time you graduate. To promote inclusivity, the government has reserved 200 seats exclusively for the Northeastern region out of the initial national target and is providing a 50% fee concession for all regional candidates and women. I urge the young people joining us today to spread the message of this initiative and all our esteemed partner institutions to take the step toward encouraging our youth towards becoming corporate mitras and contributing to the vision of a Viksit Bharat by 2047. Registration is currently open on the Swayam portal, the Swayam Plus portal, more details of which I am sure will be shared shortly. And on behalf of the National Law University of Meghalaya fraternity, I wish you all a highly productive and insightful session that empowers your future careers and our regional economy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your every encouraging and thought-provoking address. Your words have truly enriched today's program. Now we move to the next segment of our program, and the next segment is the keynote address. It is my great honor to invite Sri Charlie V. Darlong Diangdo, the IAS Commissioner and Secretary, Commerce and Industries, Planning, Cabinet, etc., Government of Meghalaya, to deliver the keynote address. So, we are honored to have you with us today. So kindly address our participants. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sangeeta. Mr. Kalita, OSD from IICA, the Vice Chancellor and all the faculty of the National Law University, all the distinguished faculty and officers from the IICA New Delhi campus and the Shillong campus, all the other distinguished faculty and resource persons who are joining for this online webinar, and all the students and other youth of the state of Meghalaya and from the Northeast and other parts of the country who are joining us for this very special webinar on the Corporate Mitra scheme. We have heard from Mr. Kalita and Dr. Basil on the salient features and the context of the scheme, so I'll try not to repeat their points, but just emphasize on the importance of this very important scheme that has been launched by the Government of India with a special focus on the youth of the Northeastern region. As we know, the Northeast region is emerging as a growth hub, even the state of Meghalaya, in terms of its potential in both industry, ecotourism, food processing, and various other such growth engines for the state and for the country. And there is a huge demand for paraprofessionals, especially in guiding the corporate sector when it comes to subjects like accounting, taxation, banking, financial management, legal services, regulatory support. There is a gap that is felt. We know that even in the States, various startups have been encouraged. Let me speak about the state of Meghalaya since the audience is primarily for Meghalaya. The government of Meghalaya has started the Prime program to enable our youth who are looking to create startups and to create jobs in the sector. Today, many of our youth are leading from the front. They are not only looking to be job seekers, but they are looking forward to be job creators. And this can be achieved through the MSME sector. Mr. Kalita talked about the growing MSME sector. MSME, dear students, stands for micro, small, medium enterprises. And many of our industry, especially in Meghalaya, are in this segment. Almost 80 to 90% of our industries fall within this segment. Small businesses, from small bakeries to other sorts of businesses like those who are running homestays, to those who conduct tours, tour operators, taxi operators. There are many types of small businesses. Many of these businesses are looking to scale up, and government is providing various incentives to them. One, of course, I mentioned is the Prime startup, which is trying to incubate these startups so that they can scale, they can become more professional, they can grow, and therefore they need various professional services. We also have support from the Government of India through DPIIT in the form of the Unnati scheme that looks to promote industrial growth and investment. In the Government of Meghalaya itself, we have created the Meghalaya Investment Promotion Authority that is looking forward to bringing investments from various sectors so that we can provide jobs and employments to our young professionals and youngsters in the state. So coming back to this corporate Mitra scheme, there is a great opportunity. We know we have a lot of graduates from the state of Meghalaya in various sectors, say lawyers or commerce students or other students. And this is open to all. This is a 12-month course, as we know, 6 months of it online. But I'm really happy that the design of the course is done in such a way that 6 months is on-the-job training, where you will learn on the practical aspects of the scheme, so that once you are certified, you are able to assist these MSMEs or even other industrial bodies or corporates in various compliances. And therefore, the IICA's mandate of promoting corporate governance, of promoting corporate affairs, and of promoting industry through the corporate route is realized. So I must really put on record a heartfelt thanks on behalf of the government of Meghalaya to the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Union Finance Minister for having announced this scheme in the recently announced budget and with a special focus on the Northeast and on Meghalaya. We thank the Government of India for having established and announced the establishment of the IICA regional campus in Shillong. This is an important program that the IICA regional campus is starting through an online mode and through a practical mode. So therefore, the success of this program will depend on how our students, particularly those who are recently graduated, are able to get this training. The fees are very reasonable. There's a 50% concession. And being the regional campus from Shillong, it is even more so that students from Meghalaya who are qualified should try and avail of this scheme. I thank the NLU, the National Law University, which has a huge emphasis on teaching corporate law also, to having come forward to partner with the IICA in this webinar. I also request the NLU to take this message forward to all the deserving youth who will be able to avail of this certification program. Today, students are looking to upskill, to increase their skill sets, and many of them look for various opportunities. This is an important opportunity which, dear students, you should not miss. This is by IICA, which is under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. It is recognized by the Government of India, by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So there is no better certification that you can get in terms of this certification from IICA, which is a really top level institute in the country and in the world, providing various courses. In fact, many of our students should also look forward to do other programs in IICA in the Delhi campus, and very soon in the Shillong campus once the IICA Shillong campus is fully operational. Please look at the IICA website. There are various opportunities to do various master's degree programs. And as our country growth happens towards a Viksit Bharat of 2047, more and more corporate sector will emerge, which will require various compliances, especially under the Companies Act, under various tax laws, under various regulatory laws. And therefore, the need for these para-professionals, which we are calling corporate Mitra, or friends of the corporate, will definitely increase. So it is a very important course that has been made keeping you in mind. 6 months online training, you can join from anywhere. And the most important part is the 6 months on the job training, which will give you the exposure that is required. So at the cost of repetition, but to emphasize the need, because this is a webinar to ensure that there's awareness so that we get more students to participate. I have repeated some points, but this is to ensure that all of you get the message across that this is an opportunity that you should not miss. And I request all of you to spread the word. And once again, I thank IICA and all the co-organizers for having invited me to give this keynote address. And I wish this program every success. And on behalf of the government of Meghalaya, I assure that any type of support that is required, we are always happy and ready to support the IICA and all its initiatives. Thank you very much. Kublai Shibon, Mithela, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Sir.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring keynote address and for sharing your valuable perspectives on strengthening entrepreneurship, skill development, and corporate governance in the Northeastern region. Now we shall proceed to the expert address. So may I request Dr. Naveen J. Serohi, Head of the Department, School of Finance and Management, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, to kindly deliver the expert address and share insight on the relevance of the professional competencies under Corporate Mitra scheme. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, senior officials, faculty members, experts from organizations. So the benefit of being placed towards the end of speakers is that your job is made easy by the earlier speakers. So a lot of things have already been covered. I'll try to touch upon a little bit decoding the problem, some international context, the experience that we can learn, and what the research says about this scheme, and some do's and don'ts. So the issue, friends, is this problem is the distance problem. So if the question comes, how far for an entrepreneur is the chartered accountant and the company secretary? If the question is thrown to a journal in India, for much of India, this advice is a phone call away. But for tier 2, tier 3 cities, and especially for NER region, it's a journey. So the real problem is the distance. And this scheme is actually not about compliance, but it is about the distance between the first generation entrepreneurs and the first professional friend that the Mitra is all about. If we talk about some data, Economic Survey 25-26 says we have about 4 lakh chartered accountants in the country, 7.47 crore Udyam registered MSMEs. So there is distortion in general, and the problem becomes acute in regions which need specialized focused approach, including NER. India's problem is no longer a lack of scheme, but fragmented last mile delivery. And Mitras are supposed to fill that gap. And this is not India's first experience. We have 2 successful Mitra revolutions. We have seen the success stories in terms of ASHA workers in the health space and bank Mitras and business correspondents in the banking and financial space. And I'm very sure that this will also be a third successful intervention. If we look at internationally, 4 countries have built similar layers decades ago. In 1950s, Japan started registered SME management consultant scheme, where a state certified advisor used to provide this handholding, similar handholding. And they used to maintain a public registry. In Brazil, also we have small business experts, 5,000 plus. And the government focuses on handholding through the Mitras and simplification of the compliance, which even our government is pursuing with ease of doing business on the other side. So it's a two-way approach. In United States, the learnings from similar interventions is leveraging the setup of the universities, because most of the small business development centers are located in the universities. NER region has a lot of universities and all central state universities, and we are seeing the participation here. It is validated, can have a Mitra cell. Germany also follows the dual vocational model, the same something very aligned, which we have followed, the classroom plus a paid workplace training. And quality on the job training is what is required. We have some academic research also in this aspects. And in Mexico, the research says that SMEs who are given subsidized access to local consultants, they showed higher productivity. And over a long period of time, they also showed employment going up by 50%. In Nigeria, a similar research says that outsourcing tasks to a professional is actually beats the training the entrepreneur. Now, generally, there are 2 approaches. You upskill the entrepreneur so that he can do this kind of thing himself, or you outsource to a para-professional like corporate Mitra. So the design logic of corporate Mitra is that entrepreneur should not get into the accounting, taxation and something. Let him have that business vision. And rather, it should be delegated to an affordable and para-professional. NER friends have a huge raw material. We have high literacy and English proficiency, young graduate population. You have a strong service temperament of the youth. And I think with the focus of the government on the NER and the aspiring young generation, this region is well placed for the success of this scheme. If it comes to some learnings from the international parlance, the few learnings can be that we should be measuring the outcomes, not certifications, and leverage the university setup, and the OJT and the 6 months training component should focus more on the demand side, which the startups and the SME actually need, rather than the supply side push. So because that is going to be the critical component. So with this, I wish all the young people attending this webinar, all the best. Register for the program, get trained, be a partner in this journey towards Viksit Bharat, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your informative and enriching expert address. Now we shall move to the most important technical session of today's program. It is my privilege to invite CA Gyan Chandra Mishra ji, Chairman of MSME and Startup Committee of ICAI, Vice Chairman ICAI Corporate Mitra Committee, and Central Council Member ICAI, the lead co-host, to deliver the presentation on core competencies of the Corporate Mitra scheme. Sir, we are honored to have you with us today, and the virtual platform is now yours. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Madam Sangeeta. All the distinguished dignitaries present in this webinar, Mr. Kalitha, OSD, IICA, MCA Shillong, my good friend. And let me tell you, friend, Kalitha ji is present here. And when this corporate Mitra scheme was first conceived and first discussed about I think 1 year back. So this was the pleasant moment that we thought in Shillong that there should be some para-professional who could take care the compliance and hand-holding process for the MSMEs of the country. So Kalita ji, I think that you were the person who were first looking towards it. My compliment to you. A special address given by Dr. Bajal, keynote address given by Sri Cyril V. Darlong, Dean Do, IAS, Commissioner and Secretary, Commerce and Industries, Planning, Cabinet, Government of Meghalaya. Professor Sirohi, who had just spoken, and who is the HOD of IICA. Dr. Gupta, present amidst us from Institute of Cost Accountants of India. Other dignitaries who have joined us virtually, and students, I mean the young brains of Northeast region, Meghalaya, who have joined us virtually to attend and understand this very important course being launched by Ministry of Corporate Affairs in association with all the three premier accounting institute, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and of course the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, and of course supported by IIT Madras. So good evening to one and all of you. I am joined with the officers of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India who are tirelessly working for getting this program launched, registrations done, and of course the course to be conducted. So, dear friends, we have certain number of PPT that we would like to run in your interest. We'll request all of you to kindly put your queries in the chat box so that if there is any query from you, we could reply the same and you could become truly the part of this very important initiative which could get the overall meaning of the hand-holding change for the purpose of the MSMEs. Because if we see that India is one of the largest ecosystem of the MSMEs across the globe. About 8 crore MSMEs are working. More than 35% of the GDP contribution is from the MSMEs only. If we see towards the employment generation, probably the biggest sector across the country to give the employment in an organized way. And in terms of export, very close to 50% of the export is being done by MSMEs only. So this course, which has been devised and designed for the benefit of the MSMEs, is no more longer for the bigger cities. The person who is living in tier 3, tier 2, tier 4 cities, they might get the registration done. They can complete the course. They will get one certificate from the ministry. And of course, they will be the para-professional who shall be hand-holding for the MSMEs at large. Dear friends, we know that our Honorable Prime Minister is looking that the country to become a developed country by 2047. And I'm sure about it that by 2047, the major contribution in the economic growth and the ecosystem of the MSME would be the immense. And if we are looking a developed economy, probably without the strong backbone and strong structure of the MSMEs, it would be the daydreaming. So we need to understand the number one importance of this course, why the government has come up with. Honorable Finance Minister in this budget came up with this very important course, who shall be hand-holding to the MSMEs. And MSMEs, as already I told you, they are the super, contributor to the economic growth of the country. So I'll request the office to start the PPT. This is the first PPT with respect to the overview, consisting of 10 of the bullet pointers. What about the course, primary objective, eligibility, program structure, fees and concession, evaluation methodology, certification, implementation, registration, and on-the-job training, governance and support. Next one. Next slide. So regarding the MSMEs are the backbone of the Viksit Bharat, as I have already told you that MSMEs are contributing to the ecosystem of the MSME at large. And for Viksit Bharat, we understand the MSMEs will be the key contributors in the GDP and of course in making the country Viksit Bharat. So affordable expertise beyond the metros and stronger ecosystem. These are the three key elements which has been given for the purpose of the corporate Mitra who are going to contribute to the ecosystem of the MSMEs. Primary objective of the course. Next one. And next slide. So primary objectives of the course. The first is skilled talent pool. Now, since every MSME has to comply with certain compliances of the government, and for that compliance, the skilled person are needed. Skilled person means the person, the professional who are aware about the accounting system, the compliances with respect to the GST, compliance with respect to the income tax, compliance with respect to the cost accounting, of course, the secretarial and legal. So all these things putting together is going to develop one skilled person. And that skilled person will be the you people. How? That I will let you know subsequently. The second thing is of doing business. Now, the business, what in the rural and suburban areas the people are conducting, they are probably much involved in their business. So what about compliance? What about growth? What about handholding? So that is to be done by the corporate mitras. So that ease of doing business, the prime parameter of the government for making the business organization more vibrant could be met out. Employment. By this corporate mitra scheme, the government has tried to encounter the employment with service hand-holding of the MSMEs. So a huge pool of the professionals which will be trained, which will be given the qualification, they will certainly get immediate employment And moreover, along with the employment, they can work as freelancer also. Trusted advisory, since you people, I mean the corporate mitras, they are given certificate by the ministry. So your role would be truly trusted by the society and ecosystem at large. The next slide, please. Can you please, on the next slide? So now this is very important. This is the eligibility criteria for candidates. So there are three eligibility criteria. Number one is age limit. As on the date of registration, suppose you are going to register today. So the moment you are going to register on that day, you should not be more than 30 years of the age. I'm underlining, if anyone is more than 30 years of age, even one day more than 30 years, he or she is not eligible. He or she is not eligible to get the registration done. Number two, nationality. This course is available for the Indian citizen only. So if any person who is even residing in India and not Indian national, that person is not eligible to be corporate Mitra. The third, again, this is again important, that any graduate or any candidate who is in the last year of the graduation, they are only eligible for the registration. If any person is in the final year of the graduation, so they have to submit their qualification certificate immediately after qualifying the graduation examination. So these three eligibility criteria, I am reiterating. Number one, the age should be less than 30 years. The person should be Indian national. And the third one, the qualification should be graduation or final year of the graduation. Next slide, please. Now, how the course will be done? What will be the program structure? The program structure is divided in two parts. 6 months of the academic course shall be conducted through the digital hub, through the IIT Madras hub, Swayam Plus portal. I mean, you have to simply log in and you can learn it at your own convenience. There is no timeline that the course will start 10 a.m. in the morning, will go up to 6 p.m. Not so. If you want to learn in the night, 10 p.m., you can start at 10 p.m. So this is the one very important aspect that, excuse me, that there is no such timing to learn the course. But this is the learning of 6 months, 144 hours, and 6 hours additionally through the webinars that you have to learn. This is available in English and the medium. And after this learning, you have to go for the on-the-job training, OJT, on-the-job training. What is on-the-job training? After you complete 6 months of the learning process through Digital Learning Hub, you have to register yourself for training with any chartered accountant, cost accountant, or company secretary. Those firms shall be subsequently notified on the portal. You can select any one of them, you can register yourself, and you will be eligible to take the training from there. One most important thing over here, during the course of the training, the student, I mean the candidate, shall be eligible to get the stipend also as per the norms of the institutes. So this is with respect to the program structure, 6 month digital learning and 6 month on the job training program. Now, next slide, please. Briefly, these are the course content which has been given over here. Academic course content related to the accounting module, understanding business transaction, basic accounting terms, bookkeeping, element of financial statements, and introduction to the formats of financial statement, preparation of the financial statements, uses of the MS Excel for the purpose of accounting, overview of accounting software such as Tally solutions. Now, one thing I would like to clarify to the students who are listening to me, there is not any restriction that only commerce background graduate will come. Any graduate can come. So please don't go with the course content. These course content are for the corporate Mitra only. You will be taught all these course content. But any candidate who is aspiring to go for it, that candidate could be from any discipline. I mean, the commerce, the arts, the science, the humanities, anything, the agriculture. If you are graduate, that is the important thing. The next slide, please. Next slide, please. Now, this is the academic course content with respect to the taxation module, introduction to income tax laws, overview of heads of income, computation of total income, advanced tax, TDS, TCS, e-filing of TDS, TCS returns, quarterly filing of the statements with the income tax department, overview of return of income, self-assessment tax and e-filing of income tax return, overview of fundamental concepts of GST, registration of MSMEs under GST, overview of tax invoice, credit and debit notes, e-way bill, payment of tax, overview of returns of MSMEs under GST, taxation relaxations, schemes for MSMEs, broad overview of the customs laws. Now, I'll request for the next slide, please. These are the banking module, banking basics for MSMEs, types of loans and funding options, NPA, civil and banking compliance, banking and insurance laws and operations. Now, next slide, please. Financial management modules, objectives and functions of financial management, sources of finance, ratio analysis, working capital management. Next slide, please. Legal and secretarial module, MSME formation, MSME registration, setting up MSMEs, government scheme 1, government scheme 2, venture capital funding by MSMEs, MSMEs, MSME compliances, SMEs as companies, strengthening MSMEs, SME listing, compliance for listed MSMEs, delayed payment solutions. Next slide, please. This is the cost and management accounting module, introduction to cost and management accounting, cost ascertainment, element of cost, material cost, employee cost, direct cost, overhead, method of accounting, job costing, batch costing, contract costing, process costing, operating costing, project costing. Next slide, please. Cost accounting technique, marginal costing, standard costing, and variable analysis, budget and budgetary control, introduction to cost audit. So, dear students, you need not worry by seeing all these syllabus, that this is huge syllabus, how I will study. Very informative and very simple learning programs are being done by us. That shall be taught to you online only, and I'm sure about it that you will like that. Each and every module is being given by the professional institute and of course by the experts only. So if you are not a commerce student, you might have one hesitation in your mind. Probably I'm not commerce student, so I will be able to grip it or not. So I'd like to assure you that any one of you who is dedicated to learn it shall certainly learn it. Now the next slide is related to the affordable inclusive fees structure. This is available at rupees 3,000 plus GST, but there is exemption, 4 exemptions, and exemption is 50% of the fees. 50% of the fees concession has been given to women candidates, northeastern region, 8 states from where you are belonging to Meghalaya. So you are falling in this northeastern region. So you need to pay only 50% of the fees, that is 1,500 rupees plus GST. Himalayan region, J&K, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, Union Territory, Andaman, Nicobar, Iceland and Lakshadweep. So again, I'm reiterating only 3,000 fees for the general candidates. For Northeast region, since you people are from Meghalaya, you need to pay a fees of rupees 1,500 plus GST only. And not only for Meghalaya, all the 8 states of Northeast region, they are eligible to claim 50% of the fees concession. Next slide, please. How candidates are evaluated? This is very important, I'm telling you. Now, there is one question. Suppose you are completing your 6 months of learning program, thereafter 6 months of on-the-job training program, then how you will be evaluated? So your evaluation will be in 3 phases. First one would be 10% of the weightage would be to your module assessments. When you will start the learning on the digital learning hubs, 10% of the marks shall be allocated towards that. Some MCQ test would be there, and you will keep on passing the examination, MCQs, and 10% weightage of the same shall be given. 50% shall be for the final assessment. When your final assessment will be done, then you will get the weightage of the same up to 50%. On the job training, again, 40% of the weightage on the job. Sorry, final assessment 50% and on the correct. Final assessment 50%, on the job 40%. Again, I'm reiterating, module assessment 10%, on the job training 40%, and final assessment 50%. By this, you will be able to complete the 100% of the total marks. Out of 100%, you need to get at least 50% to pass the corporate Mitra course. Passing marks is not 33%, 40%. Passing marks is 50%, but that 50% you need to cater in these 3 phases: module assessment 10%, on the job training 40%, and final assessment 50%. Next one, please. The corporate Mitra certificate. This is very important. You will get one certificate duly having the corporate Mitra logo depicting you as corporate Mitra. You will get the same, and after that, you shall be eligible to render your services to the across nation in the best way you like. Not only that you are from Meghalaya, then you can render the service in Meghalaya only. Across the country at any point of time in any city. So this is with respect to the certificate that you will get, and see there is a logo of the certificate that shall be issued under the instructions by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Next slide, please. Services offered and certified by certified corporate Mitras. These are the services you will be eligible to offer: regulatory compliance, business registration and corporation support, accounting and bookkeeping assistance, taxation support, GST and income tax, cost and management accounting, financial management support, legal and secretarial services. These are the services that you will be eligible to provide to the MSME at large. Next slide, please. Delivered with the Professional Institute. This is IICS Shillong, ICSI, Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and of course, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Next slide, please. Registration and selection journey. Now, this is very simple process. that you can go on the website of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Cost Accountants of India, Company Secretaries of India, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, IICA, any one website you can visit, and there you will get the registration link. You register yourself, learn, and you have to choose for the on-the-job training. Now, with respect to the registration, I request the office to kindly put the link for registration in the chat box, so that if any student want to take the benefit of the same, they can immediately check the same and they can register. Next slide, please. On the job training with member firms, I have already told you, now I'm again reiterating that all the professional institute, 3 professional institute, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Company Secretaries, and Cost Accountants of India, they will empanel the firms. And after empanelment of the firms, you will be eligible to register with any of the firm of your choice, of your location. You register with them, and after registration, your training will start. You will get the assured stipend as per benchmark of the 3 institute. The top performing candidate and firms shall be given with the best practice awards also. Next one, please. Administrative and monitoring framework. This is the administrative and monitoring framework. There is one steering committee. This is a high-level committee under control of MCA. Then coordination committee. The professional institutes are meeting over here, and state-level coordination committee is also being there. Now, next, please. Communication awareness and grievances. For this, a separate cell is under making. And before that, we have given the email ID. If anyone has any grievances, any one wants to tell anything, they can write to us directly. They can mail us. We will immediately reply to them. And with respect to the self-help resources, FAQ user manual, instructional videos, information material is already available on MCA, Swayam Plus, and all the 3 institutes site. Now, next slide, please. A cadre for a Viksit Bharat, as we all have already demonstrated very loudly that this all is being done in the interest of the nation building. And you people, being the young generation and best brain, finest brain of the world, because India being the youngest country, we understand that in the coming time, you will be taking the charge of the profession, business, entrepreneurship, and of course the nation. So you come forward, register yourself, become corporate Mitra, be in employment or be in freelance services. Your contribution to the MSMEs would be immense. And by these words, I am concluding this presentation, as the entire presentation has been done. Will request to the students, if anyone has any of the query, you please raise the query. We will immediately reply to you. Is there any query?
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. We have some queries already posted by the participants.
Yes, Sangeeta, tell me,
I
please.
will read one by one so that you can address accordingly. So first question is,
Yes,
why
yes.
is there no dedicated website for the corporate Mitra?
Dedicated website has not been separately done because this course is under direct monitoring of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So links are available. In coming time, we will certainly come up with the separate website with the advice and instructions of the coordination committee and of course the advisory committee.
Next question is, I could only find a Swarm Plus page, which is the training or learning environment.
No. You please visit to all three PIs website or MCA website, and registration link is available over there. If anyone is having any problem, please do write us. We have given, I'll request you, Sangeeta, to kindly put the registration link also in the, this chat box, so that student, if anyone is getting any problem, having any problem, they can directly take the registration link and they can register themselves.
Fine, sir. Is there any reservation, especially for ST Hills category as per government regulation?
See, there is reservation of 200 seats for the Northeast region only. So no specific registration with respect to SC, ST like that, but 200 seats are exclusively reserved for the students, candidates of Northeast region, and that those seats are not yet filled. We have increased the number. First, we had thought that we will go for 2,000. Now the ministry has increased from 2,000 to 3,000. But still, those 200 seats are not filled. So we'll request to kindly register yourself, because Northeast in itself has so many seats vacant so far.
Okay. Next question is the corporate Mitra a central sector scheme or centrally sponsored scheme?
See, this is a scheme of the Government of India, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So this is, you can say, central scheme. I'll not go for central sector scheme or centrally sponsored scheme. There is no sponsorship. This is an education course which is being directed and which is being projected by Ministry of Corporate Affairs in association with the professional institutes, along with supported by IIT Madras Swayam Plus Portal.
Sir, one question we have from National Law University. Is the 6 months online course self-paced or does it have a fixed timeline?
That I have already told, that this is self-paced learning module. Anyone can read anytime. There is no time restriction that someone has to sit on the table and class will start. This is pre-recorded video lectures. So one candidate can register and he will be eligible to hear and see the video lecture as per his own convenient timeline. No timeline by us people.
Faiz Anwar asked, will a student enroll for corporate Mitra be trained on the aspect of state government compliances or filling particularly industries, commerce, local municipality, urban local bodies, district administration compliances?
So corporate Mitra training is basically a holistic training. This covers the local laws also, and of course the central laws also. So with respect to the training program, initially we people will be training on the central taxes program, cost accounting, secretarial work, legal work. When you will go on the job training, then certainly you will get the work of your local states. Like someone is from Meghalaya, they certainly, if you go to your employer for the on-the-job training, you will get the work of the Meghalaya state government only, how GST return to be filed and how local compliances to be done, what are the local schemes for the funding, what subsidies are available over there. So this is a mixed program.
Thank you, sir. Another question is, how is corporate Mitra scheme different from the Tejas initiative of Government of India, which is also aimed for Tier 2 and Tier 3 entrepreneurs and MSMEs?
See, this is Tejas is not any certification program. This is a certificate program. As per my understanding, I have not done much for Tejas, but as per my understanding, this is one of the certificate program being corporate Mitra under ministry. And Tejas initiative, I'm not aware much about that initiative, so I can't compare the two. But I request the office to kindly note down this question and get the student clarified.
Okay. Next question is, what is the...
Sangeeta, if Gyan
Yes.
Mr. Saab permits, I'd like to take that question on the Tejas
Yeah,
thing.
please,
Fine,
sir.
sir.
Please, sir.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. So, if so far as I'm aware, Tejas is an initiative. Right now, Tejas 2.0 is being rolled out by DPIIT. So, it is different from this corporate Mitra initiative of Ministry of Corporate Affairs in the sense that Tejas targets the entrepreneurs in the aspirational districts across India, aspirational districts, and it is being implemented through it is a central sponsored scheme, which again is different from this corporate Mitra, which is actually a centrally sector scheme. The difference between central sponsored and central sector is central sponsored schemes are implemented by the state governments with funding of the government of India, and central sector schemes are implemented by government of India ministries as implementing agencies. So, in that I am addressing the other question that had also come up. Now, coming to the Tejas initiative, so Tejas targets only one segment, that is the entrepreneurs, whereas corporate Mitra targets two segments, the youth students and the entrepreneurs both. That is A. B is Tejas focuses morely into the first time entrepreneurs, the startups, the first time FPOs, OPCs, SSGs from the aspirational districts, and whereas corporate Mitra is for the entire segment of MSME, starting from the new concept of nano, then micro, small, medium, going up to anything, anyone. So whether it is a FPO startup, it is all of this addressed. Okay. So these are the primary difference in terms of nuances. Of course, the specific details are available there on the website of the DPIT, who is running the Tejas initiative under the Startup India program, and Corporate Mitra, of course, on our ministry's website, and the three PIs, as Gyan Misa Saab has rightly pointed out. So that should address it for the time being. But we will have some FAQs are done to address in the FAQs. Over to you, Gyan Misa Saab. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kalita ji. And now I'll request Sangeeta ji to have more questions if anything is there.
Yes. Sir, we have few more questions. Quickly, we can take all the questions. What is the minimum average income a corporate Mitra can expect to earn from providing compliances support William Nagar in Meghalaya?
See, this is very subjective question, Sangeeta. I can't say how much one can earn, but certainly a good employment and respectable job. Amount we can't specify. If you have MSMEs around you, you can earn any amount. And if you are going in the employment, certainly a handsome salary you can get. But how we can, I can't specify the amount that you will earn 50,000, 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs. But certainly someone who does this course, I'm quite confident the candidate shall have a good life and contributing to the nation.
Yes. Thank you, sir. And another question, after the training, will government provide continuous monitoring, refresher programs or advanced training?
So far, we have not yet planned that any other, training program shall be provided, because this is one course which shall be, once done, you have to update yourself according to the requirement of the industry. But in coming time, I think if government thinks so, we can do that.
Then another question, how will the performance and engagement of corporate Mitras be monitored after training?
There is no mechanism which gives us any, as of now, any right to monitor the performance. Everyone has to be, self-motivated, self-monitored, and of course, self-sustained, so that the services they are providing, that is at par excellence and as per thoughts of the government.
And how the corporate Mitra different from other skill development schemes?
This is different from, this is the only I think course which is providing you at the same time the academics also and on the job training also. Probably unique, very unique idea. Otherwise, what happens to some places you go directly to the training, on the job training. To some places you are getting only the academic qualification. But here 6 months academic and 6 months on the job. That's why it's unique.
Sir, there is another question. There is no other language support of the course. I am not very confident with English and Hindi.
No, we have not, the MCA has not yet decided with respect to the regional language. Someone has to come up with 2 languages only, Hindi or English.
Fine. And once certified, will they be operate as sole facilitation agent, or they will have option to form formal collectives, entities, and operate to offer consultancy to MSME?
See, there is no restriction on forming any group or any partnership or any LLP or any company, and any person can gather in a country. I mean, the occupation, everyone is free to adopt any occupation until unless that occupation is very specialized. So if you are corporate mitra, you are joining the hand with corporate mitras and you are forming a firm, I don't see that there will be any problem to anyone.
Fine, sir. We have addressed all the questions and we have already pasted the registration link for the students. And there is a few questions in YouTube streaming also. Let me read down one asked by Anirban Goswami. Is the government thinking to open physical cells at us to the local administration at subdivision level, taluka level, block level, or panchayat level?
Madam, I couldn't get your question. Please, can you please repeat it?
Yeah, is the government thinking to open physical cell at us to the local administration to subdivision level, taluka level, block level, or panchayat level?
See, this is totally open. Anyone can do the course from anywhere. Though the government has come up initially with tier 2 and tier 3 cities, but looking the response we people are getting from the taluka level also, tehsil level also, small cities also, so course will be available to each and every destination of the country.
And I think there is a continuation of the question, like if government not open for the physical cell, then if not, what if the student undergoing corporate Mitra course wishes to seek offline guidance support?
No, see, the course is totally online. There is no offline support. We have certain provision of offline that we shall have one program, get together program in our branches. So in Meghalaya, I think we have the nearest branch would be, I think, Shillong. In Shillong, we have branch. Guwahati. In Guwahati, we have branch. So there we will have some program, physical program. Otherwise, everything is online. Physical training program you need to take to some chartered accountant, company secretary, or cost accountant firm. Those firms shall be empaneled with us, and any student can go online check and can select the convenient firm to him or her.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think we have attended all the questions, and thank you very much for attending all the questions. And I hope that our participants get their questions clear now this time.
So now we are at the conclusion of the program. I think that all the queries of the students have been resolved.
Yes.
And now I'll request. Huh?
All questions addressed properly, sir.
So I'll request Sangeeta madam, her next.
Sangeeta, you may move on to the next segment then. I think we are done with this segment, please.
Thank you, sir. And now, as we come to the end of today's program, now I invite Ms. Neha Singh from IICA Shillong to deliver the vote of thanks. Madam, over to you.
Thank you, madam. Good evening, everyone. As we wrap up today's session of the Corporate Mitra NER Awareness Campaign in Meghalaya, it's my absolute privilege to extend the vote of thanks on behalf of Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Shillong, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. First and foremost, we extend our sincere gratitude to the Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, for her visionary leadership and invaluable guidance in conceptualizing the Corporate Mitra initiative. We express our deep appreciation to Shri Gyaneshwar Kumar Singh Sir, Director General IICA, for his strategic leadership in developing of concept of Corporate Mitra as well as this program across the NER. Our sincere thanks also go to Joint Secretary Shri Rahul Jain Sir and the Directors, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, for their steadfast support in bringing this vision to life. Also, heartfelt thanks to the Shri Cyril V.D. Dhinge Sir, IAS Commissioner and Secretary to the Government of Meghalaya. The seniors officials of the Commerce and Industries Department, the senior management of the Meghalaya Basin Management Agency, and the Prime Meghalaya team. Their continuous encouragement and steadfast support have been invaluable. We are deeply grateful to the Vice Chancellor and the Registrar and Dr. Basil Nunvarkima Dhinge, Assistant Professor Sir, and Shri Hankiman Ghashka, Executive Officer, and the entire team at National Law University Meghalaya. Their incredible support and seamless coordination. We also express our sincere gratitude to Dr. Naveen Sirohi Sir, Head of School of Finance and Management, IICA, for his insightful guidance and expert advisement during the conceptual stage of the Corporate Mitra scheme. A very special thank you to our OSD Sir, IICA Shillong, who guided us through the meticulous planning of this webinar series and ensured today's event was resounding success. Our sincere appreciation goes to Shri Gyan Chandra Mishra, Vice Chairman of the Corporate Mitra Committee from ICAI, our lead co-host, for his insightful presentation on how the Corporate Mitra scheme empowers youth to support local MSMEs and for brilliantly handling the question answer session. A special thanks to Shri Ashish Bansali Sir, the Corporate Mitra Committee from Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, and their entire team for their warm support and seamless coordination throughout this effort. We express our heartiest gratitude to all premier central institutes, state universities, academic establishments, and colleges across Meghalaya. Thank you to all the faculty members, senior officials, department heads, research scholars, and students across Meghalaya. Finally, a big thank you to our hard-working technical organizing team, Ms. Sangeeta Barua, for anchoring today's event so graceful, and our technical team, Shri Abhijit Chakravarti, Shri Hemant Dhariwal, and Shri Ranjit, for keeping everything running smoothly behind the scene. Thank you all once again. Namaste. Jai Hind.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam, for the gracious vote of thanks. With this, we formally conclude today's Corporate Mitra NER Awareness Campaign, Shillong, Meghalaya. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Good, sir.